Now I'm walking in the sun. Yes, a new age has begun. He won't love you the way I did. Cherish you will make you feel.
Welcome Taste Designs 107, I'm the S in the car pack, you're the kings and queens, and today what I for you guys is a Photoshop and Cinema 4D tutorial showing you how you can make your own Twitter header. Now the style that we'll be doing today is Legend of Zelda, and it's going to be a 3D kind of look on this banner, of course with the 3D text and logo behind it, and everything that you'll need for this tutorial will be in the description below, so make sure you go check it out. So yeah guys, let's get straight into it. I'm just going to make sure that I'm recording great, and the first thing that I'll have to do is to open up Cinema 4D, so that's exactly what I'm going to do. And yeah, so I'm going to explain why like my upload schedule has been so bad over the past couple of weeks. Like I'm only making like an upload every 2 weeks, and the reason for that is, I'm going to put it really simply, school and work. School's like really important to myself and a lot of other people, like I imagine like yourself in that, and for me to get good grades and like do well in school is really important, so I'll always put that over everything else currently. You know, as a student, our only responsibility is school, so for me to do well in that responsibility is really important for myself. So yeah, so enough of that, let's get into Cinema 4D, go to File, Open, and let's open up this Lightroom that I've made. Obviously, you'll get this plugin thing, just do OK. Now, this is some Lightroom that I've found in like my stock, and I always use it for my tutorials because it's so awesome. So yeah, this is the setup that I made for you guys. All you have to do is just go to the mode text, click on there, and then just like change it. So Legend of Darth, I don't know, just thought I might do a clan name. And you have the Zelda logo I put in the background and everything like that. If you want to know how you can make 3D logos in Cinema 4D, I use the same technique of making this Legend of Zelda. I'll put a picture up on the screen now, and just click on that picture. That'll redirect you to a tutorial. You get to learn that, and then you can come back into this tutorial with a newfound knowledge. Mode text is really simple. I put a wrap on this. If you want to learn how to wrap your text, make it like a cool sphere look, there'll be a photo on the screen now. Just click on that photo, redirect you to another tutorial, you'll learn it, and then bam, you got a new skill to your skill set. Alright, so enough of that. This is our Lightroom. Hopefully you know how to edit that. Yeah, so we need to render this Lightroom. Now what I'm going to do is render it in 2 bits. So to do that, the first thing that I'm going to do is just to render my logo. So I'm going to double click these icons here, and they'll hide it when I start rendering. So now when I hit this cogwheel, go to File, Save As, and I'm just going to do Tutorial Files for now. Save that in, and then go to Open, and let's do Render. And this is going to be my logo render. Okay, and the output will be all like that. You can copy those settings down. Then I'm going to hit this little button, and it's just going to start to render it out. So yes, now that has been done, what I'm going to do is now to unhide my text and hide my logo. Now I'm going to rename this to logo, so you guys know what you have to deal with. There's going to be main text, so you know how to edit this. Hopefully it will be really easy for you guys to go through and edit. There's different couple of lights. If you have a little bit of knowledge in Cinema 4D, hopefully you can make some really cool magic with this stuff. And I just screwed up the camera. Yeah, that's fine. Okay, so I'm just going to do that. Now just go to save. Let's just save this as text render. Now the reason why I'm doing this is this will give us some like more little options to render in actual like Photoshop. So now the text is rendering, and obviously it looks really dank. You got like some nice little inner glow and everything like that. It's a dank meme, as I say. And then we are going to open up Photoshop. So that is exactly what I'm going to do. So I should open up all these programs, but because my computer is an absolute beast, it will open it pretty fast. So yeah, no, and I couldn't find it. So yeah, so let's go ahead and start this tutorial. So let's go to File, well, it's already started, but let's go and start this tutorial in Photoshop. So we're going to make our document 1500 by 500. This is going to be our Twitter header. Now, the first thing that I'm going to do is make it black, the background. And I'm going to go to here and find this stock, which is like going to make the background for us. So I'm going to drag this one into our document, bam, like that, and there we got like a really nice scene going on and everything like that. So you should be able to use this one. And we can press Ctrl J, duplicate this, move it across, flip it a couple times, so it just looks a bit random, you feels, and just get rid of these edges, because they look a bit edgy, if you know what I mean. Okay, and so bam, we got our image like that. We can merge it, just change the opacity, you don't have to, but for now I'm just going to leave it at 100% and actually open up my renders now. So that's what I'm doing now on my other screen. So this render, first of all, I'm going to go to Filter, Distort Sphere Lights. Now I haven't used this like preset before, I haven't shown you what it does, but basically if I bring it out, it actually just spheres the text and different strength, spheres it at different, you know, strength. So we can try like 80 first of all. If that's too strong, we can change it down and bring our logo into the mix. Now really high definition, which will play to our advantage, which we'll use to our advantage. And just like resize this one and rotate this a little bit. Bam, we got our image into there. And then bring in our text render and resize this one down to like that and rotate. Bam, so we got our text and everything like that in now. Now we want to spice this text up since this is going to be our main attraction and everything like that. So we're going to go to File, Blending Modes, so right click, go to Blending Options, and we're going to do an Inner Glow, and we're just going to bump up the opacity, bump down the size, you know, do something like this. Now we're going to put this onto Color Dodge, and this is what it's going to do, as when I do it in, it's going to create a really nice dank highlight on our text. So, you know, something like that. And we can like use different like colors or that, but all we need is white because we want to brighten this text up. It's really nice. So something like that. And then we can do a drop shadow if you'd like, make this more concentrated. Something like this. So it just looks like that logo's in the actual behind of our text. And we can do an inner shadow if you like, but that's just going to ruin our inner glow, so I'm not going to do that. We can do a stroke, inner stroke, inside. Let's do the opacity, just 1. I'm just showing you all these different like techniques to making really cool dank text. Something like that. And let's go ahead and do a gradient overlay. You can also do, but with this one what you can do is do like black to white and then do the opacity something like this, do the linear from -90. Of course, because of our text is on a little bit of a slant, it'll be like this. Do the scale like that, so it's going across our text. And then do this one to like overlay, and then see it like darkens our text in some areas. I don't know, this is just like things that you guys can do to like really add to the you know, final effect of it. This is all little bits of things I've learned for over the course of learning Photoshop. So yeah, So we're going to copy this layer style and paste it to our thing. And I'm just going to go to the blending options quickly, go to our stroke and change this one obviously to like that one there. And maybe change up the size of it to like 2. And opacity a little bit. So yeah, this one's going to really pop now. With the drop shadow, we're going to make it a lot more strong. So bump up the spread and the size. And drop down the opacity, something like that. And we can do an outer glow if you like. Nothing too large. But let's do a light blue for this one. And drop down the opacity. So we got something like that. Now we do need to edit our background a little bit because of, like, we do have some little bit of inconsistencies, you could say. So I'm just going to move this one across something like that, so it's going to blend through. Press Ctrl J and move this one. Just rotate that one. Bam. And then bam, we're just like replicating our background. It looks pretty random actually. Now just merge all these together. Now if we make a new layer, bump up our brush size to like 1000 or something pixels. This is going to give us a really large brush, and I'm going to be doing like a purple thing like this, and then go to this and create an overlay. And this will allow us to like change the color of our background. Make sure the hardness is on 0, and we can like do different little colors here, and this will like really change up the way our banner will finalize. Now we can change the opacity of our brush, that will save us making a new layer and having to change our thing. Now I'm actually digging some blue in this little area. Now Zelda's all about that like monochrome blue purple color, but really guys, you don't have to do Zelda styled you know, banner. Now I have a couple of Zelda style, you know, banner tutorials that I could do in the near future that I could work on. They are quite complex tutorials, so I'm not too sure if you guys would like that in the near future or not. So yeah, do let me know if you would like a good old 40-minute Ace Designs 107, you know, tutorial. Really digging that green actually. If we just change the opacity a little bit, or make it like bright so it comes out like that. Maybe even make it on a new layer and change down the opacity. Drop this into overlay. Nah, I don't like that. Okay, so we have something like this. Actually, I'm going to do one splot of there. So there, we have something like this, and this is looking not too bad. Now we have got something going for us. I'm actually going to take that drop shadow, our over glow off this outer glow of this thing. Hang on. It's this thing. We don't want an outer glow. It just really takes it off the image, which I don't like. Okay, so the next thing to do is add in all these little cool layer styles. Now this looks fine as itself, but we always have to spice things up. So yeah, and we're also going to be adding Link himself, Zelda himself. I keep on calling it Link for some reason. I know it's a game, you know, Link, but still. Okay, so we're going to position our Zelda like this, in between our renders. This is why the main thing, it just saves us from doing it, something like that. And then bam, we got something like that. And we can do a little bit of a stronger drop shadow if we really want to see it on Link that is positioned behind. this thing. Okay, like that. I don't like that. Okay, so then, as I said, we are going to add in these lights, because of those lights really do make a difference. So we are going to bring in our space folder, which is not all of our lights, but you could say like a couple of them. So I'm going to bring it into this document. And first one, I'm going to use this one. Well, we can always experiment and everything, but I'm just going to bring on this one and see if we drop this into like an overlay kind. Drop shat, nah, doesn't really work. So let's try, not that stock. That stock would be alright. That stock would be alright. This stock is like pretty safe. You stick with the safe stocks when it comes to all this like space stuff. Because like you can really make stuff like out there and that, but it just really depends like on the effect and everything. And you can change the color by pressing Ctrl U. Just change the opacity on that one. Now that looks like that for this image, but again, this is not our main stuff that we're going to be using for the tutorial. This is just like the just the images that do make a difference but don't at the same time you feels. Press Ctrl U, change the opacity on this one. And bring this one down. Okay, cool. So the next thing that I'm going to do is bring in that other stock group. And this is like where the real magic actually happens. So here you can just simply use basically anyone. And this will really add to the banner, promise you. Something like that. Drop the opacity down, and that looks dank, doesn't it? Now this image is absolutely dope. So like you could definitely experiment with like different backings and everything, but this one is just, I just love this image, and especially like for creating like a different like a gradient over this. So like that looks pretty cool in itself. We merge these two together and just like change the opacity, and then bam, we've got like some really cool star texture with this. Let's try overlay, see what soft light. Mess with the blending options, see if you like any. Lighting's not too bad. But yeah, so that's that one, this one. But we've still got some experimentation to go. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to undo that merge, because of merging layers just creates hassle if you want to unmerge them or really change any of the stuff that you did. You can't really, because they're merged. So I would really stay away from merging stuff, like even until your final. Like I'd never merge my final projects together. And I'm actually going to do red, you know, something red on this one. And like see how it's on the Link's Zelda side. That doesn't look too bad actually. could do something like that. That's not too bad. And I'm just going to really experimentation because I'm going to use the other image that I've done here as my, you know, thumbnail. Okay, so here I'm going to just use this little flare onto the side of, you know, my text. So it looks like it's coming off the text, and you know, that's dope. So we can, you know, have it coming off one of these points. You can have it really large if you like, or something like that. But I'm just going to do something like that. Now, if you don't like that, you can take it away at any time. You can add in this one. Change the... Guys, stop! Okay, so I don't like this font. Okay, just texting. Okay, this one is a great stock for behind this image. I was gonna use it in the preview image, but I didn't end up liking it. But this one, if you pop a little hue saturation, you can really make this image pop in the background. So that's what I'm going to do. Something like that. Let's see if there's like a blue for that. Yeah, that's dope. Okay, so we can try the other fonts like here. So this stock is really good for Link's head, I found out. So I did some experimentation before I started the tutorial. Okay, so it looks like his, you know, hair's electrolyzed, and that's really cool. It's really easy, just like simply drag it on and then bam, you have it onto our document. Now it's important not to overload stuff with stocks. There always has to be a fine balance between this stuff, otherwise it just doesn't look clean, and you know, it just really fucks up the design, if I must say. Which I shouldn't be really swearing. I don't like that stock, so I'm going to get rid of it. I'm going to get rid of this stock. Now, this green stock, it's really dependent on what I'm going after. I could just play it safe and just add in the text, or I can have some like dank red stock behind him, or like some orange stock, and that doesn't look too bad. But this light, you know, it's a bit too strong, so I might have to resize it down, you know. Like that. Press Ctrl U again, and I can change the color on this one. I reckon just have it like blue, or have it with this color. Like light blue doesn't work too bad. See, that's not too bad. And then change the opacity on this one. Okay, sweet. So yeah, that's gonna be that image, and again, you can have like different colors, like purple's not too bad. There. But yeah, you can get really different variations with all these stocks. Like this is one variation, and this is the other. I can even move this stock to the other side and have Link's side a bit more dark, but I decided to put it on this side, you know, for this effect. So, you know, it's all up to you, really. I can't tell you like what's the best one for this tutorial, but I just thought this is a really unique you know, style, and I can definitely share it with you guys because I gave you all the files in the description below. So yeah, that's all you really need. Now I think why this image looks so off is because of there's that stock there, and then this bit looks empty. So let me just use my designer eyes for a second and adjust the right color, and then if I shade this one out, bring this one up again, oppa. Bring this one down. Okay, and we can use Magic Bullet Looks to clean this up if you'd like. So we can go to filter, Oh my fucking god, dude. Press Control J, press Control. Okay, so I'm going to go to. Hang on. I'm gonna go to Filter. Hang on, merge this one together. What the? Merge those ones together. Merge those ones together. Haha! I found the issue. See, merging layers like never really works out pretty, because you've got all these different layer styles. It's got a magic little looks. I'm just gonna change this to a safe color because my magic bullet looks doesn't seem like it wants to render. So yeah, so that's that, and then you got this effect, and it's really cool. Now, if you want to go to your blending options, do like a stroke, an inner stroke on this links guide to get rid of that white stuff, and then do like a green stroke. Let's do size that, opacity 1. Let's do 2, and just change the opacity. Then you got something like that. You can do a drop shadow after this. You know, something like this, or do an inner shadow. That's the other one that I did. Something like that. Yeah, that makes them a lot more soft. And then you have stuff like this, and then you can make a light on this one. Go to your brush. Go it from the character's perspective, I guess. Do that, and then make a new light. It's gonna be our shadow. Let's do overlay, and then bam, you got something really, really dark going on, but take this off here a little bit, and then bam, you got that. So yeah guys, that's gonna be the tutorial for today. Hopefully you learned something new, and we'll come back to the channel to learn some new stuff in Photoshop and other design programs. So yeah, thank you so much for watching the tutorial. If you did learn something, hit that like button, and also comment below because I love to see your feedback, guys. And also subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Anyway, thank you. Bye-bye.